So we're going to discuss the Aldelo Express and some menu building shortcuts. Sometimes they're called shortcuts, sometimes they're called hacks. I think that's the term a lot of people use these days. But in this case, I'm just going to call them Aldelo menu building shortcuts. This is going to be a two-part training. So we're going to do the first part today, second part next week. The goal is to build a bar demo database. We're looking at our sample databases, and we really don't have a specific bar demo. So we're going to build a bar demo between today and next week that will have over 1,000 items in that database. Our goal is to do it under 30 minutes. So let's see how we can do that. When I started looking at how we can do that training, I don't think I could do it properly in under 30 minutes without it being in two pieces. Today, I'm going to explain the steps. I'm going to explain how it's done and even show you how to do some of these things. But I could not do the entire 1,000 item database in under 30 minutes if I had to take the time to explain the different steps. So we're going to do the explanation of those steps today and then do the implementation next week, such as the pictures and recipes and modifications to the database. We'll add those even later. So the goal is to have that bar demo database, 1,000+ items in under 30 minutes, and then we'll start doing the customization later with additional pictures and other modifications. Now, it won't be our largest database. We've got one that Jeff created. It's got over 10,000 items. It's one of our test databases. So this is not going to be our largest, but it'll probably be the most complex and complete, in that I do intend on putting pictures and detailed recipes in the system so that we do have a real working demo database. And to accomplish this, we'll be using 4 database creation methods. We're going to first import using an Excel template. That is something we have covered before, but we're going to use that Excel template to give us our base core demo. We're going to use matrix items, voice to text. That is actually using speech to text recognition, speech recognition software built into the system that allows us to talk and have it type out what we're saying. And then we're going to use the AI menu item completion tool that we just announced a few weeks ago. Today, we're going to focus on just those 3, the matrix, voice to text, and the AI menu completion, with the Excel template coming next week. So let's start off with the matrix items. It is really a tremendous tool. When you do it properly and use it the way it's supposed to be, it is a tremendous tool. It allows for extremely fast creation of multiple menu items based upon a single menu item. It maximizes screen efficiency while incorporating huge number of items. This works on iOS, Android, and the tablet version. You can take one item and through the variations, create dozens, hundreds, or even thousands can be created instantly from this tool. Such as if you have 5 sizes of sandwiches with 5 bread types, 5 cheeses, and 5 meats, that equals 625 POUs. All created instantly with pricing, printer routings, all the setup is done for those items instantly. It does phenomenal item movement reporting capability, in that you can now get down to the granular level to know that the small sub, 6-inch sub on wheat with white American with roast beef, you'll know the exact item movement for that one particular POU. This now allows, in this case, what an example I gave you here, it'll be 625 POUs with item movement for each variation. That's why it's such phenomenal item movement reporting. So you set the characteristics of the base item that is then copied. That base price is then carried forward. Reporting and sales categories. All the forced in advanced modifier groups are all programmed into the base item, along with any printing and KDS routing. Once you create that base item, then that is what's copied to all the rest of the items. It saves a lot of programming time. It's often used in restaurants to create sodas, sandwiches, subs, beers, even wines, pizza, with no halves or thirds, but it can create a pizza database. And then others such as coffees and teas and those things. It's used in retail to create size, color, style for shoes and clothing. So it really was created for a retail operation, but we've used it in the restaurant field to cover a lot of different areas in the database build. Really shortens it up. Now let's talk about voice to text. Use it on any device that has speech recognition. I'm going to use it today on my iPad because my iPad to me is a real simple way to build a database using a voice to speech text. It just simply activate the speech option when you're ready to type or type the product name or any other text fields that you may be entering. It will work, not only work for the name field, but any other text field where you have the characters. Greatly speeds it up. I am really fast on this, and you'll see just how fast it can be. It moves along really, really well. And then there's the AI menu item completion tool. This tool was introduced a couple of weeks ago. It actually has learned from all our previous Aldelo Express databases. Very intelligent. And it has looked at all the databases we have for Express on our servers, and now we'll start to complete your menu item. That is, it anticipates the name that's going to be put into the menu item and will suggest a list of the correct answers for you. We even have discovered that it will not let you duplicate items. So it won't suggest an item that you've already got in your database, is what I'm saying. It does this as you enter each character. So after you entered in 2 characters, it will start suggesting possible answers. And you can choose from those or just go ahead and enter and type in the entire name. Now that's the 3 tools that we're going to show today. You got any questions before we proceed into the actual demo? All right, this is the screen you get once you've logged into the system. I am not going to select an existing store, which is the top left. I'm going to go and hit create new store. And what I'm doing here is I'm going to use the onboard wizard to create the initial store. So you may not have ever seen this. This is pretty cool. I'm going to select my terminal number, which is in this case 1. And now I give a name. It's required field. You see on the left, you have these red warnings. These are telling you that you have something to complete here before it can move on. I'm going to give this whatever name you want. I'm not going to use that address. I'm going to use another one. What it does is it takes the address, the IP address of where your iPad is, and just defaults to that address. Then you are required to put in your email. Put in my corporate email. That email is important, so you do need to make sure you have that. Next up is the sales tax, whatever that sales tax is in your area. If you have a discount, put it in. You can add others later. And then you get down to the business classification, what industry. Well, we're going to be a restaurant. Category restaurant. You have multiples here. I'm going to put in a brewery because I want the bar tabs activated. What we're doing at this point by making these selections, it's setting flags in the back office. What cuisine, bar and tavern, and the style is going to be other. So now what I've done is through these selections, I have set and preset a lot of the options for the restaurant. I don't have to go worry about, will it function as a bar or will it be more like counter service or table service? This is now set up to be a bar tavern type of operation. And you'll notice now on the left, my checkbox is now green. It means I have satisfied everything in this area. Next in is the options, and it defaults to beverages and water. When you are just, if you were to exit right now, it would not work unless you put a price in. I'm going to add in some additional groups. So a group name here might be, and for our little demo, I'm going to put some craft beers. I'm going to put draft beer. And I'll put bottled beers. At this point, you can go in and put in items. By doing that, you go to the blue plus below the item and enter in an item there. Whatever you want to, if you want to enter in the name of the item and the price, then is it taxable? You've now satisfied the system's requirement for at least one item, but this is where you could literally go through and create all your items from your menu for each one of the categories. Just continue this same repeating process. Add another item. And just continue, repeat, repeat, repeat. I've now satisfied that requirement. I have a green check, and then staff. Now it's going to default to me. I'm the owner of the restaurant, so it's going to default to my name. It's going to also default to the highest access. What it does not default is my user ID number, my login. Once I put my login into the system, then I am now completed all the basic check marks. If I want to continue to add staff, I can do that at this point. Once I'm ready, I hit build store, and it will completely build the store in the back office. Okay, my store is now built. I'm done as far as the basics go. Now you'll notice on the top left, it says play tutorial. That is a default when you have a new store. Those are little videos that we've created to help people get through the steps of the system when there's a new system. To turn that off, we go to the function button there and hit hide tutorials, and those all go away. So now we have a functioning database. There are the two beers that I put in. So now you see I've got a functioning database. I can ring items, and the system works. Let's take it one step further though. Let's go into manager. Now I'm into my back office for this new store. Let's look at some of the things you're going to have to do at this point. We talked about in the products area, doing some item setup using voice to text. Let's use that. Let's do that first. I'm going to go into my bottled beers. I've got these two that are already set up. Let's take a look at the Budweiser to make sure it's all set up properly. So you're going to come through here. You can, at this point, do a new category for reporting purposes. Now I've got a beers report category. Product group is still going to be called bottled beers. You can choose the color, you can the button. You can also choose to put a picture. We're not going to do that this week. We'll take that into the next level when we're starting to do some of the more customizations. The unit price is $5. Now for here, you can add where you do your forced and advanced modifiers. I don't think we're going to need them on beer. I'm going to turn off the kitchen printer for the kitchen print, but I am going to turn it on for bar print. And there is no KDS. So in the bottom down here, you can have different prices for the items. This is where you put it in for a dine-in or bar price, takeout price. It is taxable. It is a drink qualifier. It is a bar item. Drink qualifier I like to turn on because I do forced beverage when I do my demos. I want to make sure that every food item or every entree gets a drink qualifier. Once you are done, well, let's back up here. If you don't want this to be on Mesa, you can turn it off as well. And now I've got that item set. It's programmed the way I want it programmed. So when I go to add a new item, I can then copy, duplicate. So now all the parameters that I set before are now there. So now all I have to do is put in the item name. Coors. Last thing to do is to hit save. So everything's programmed in. Everything did exactly as it's supposed to there. Add a new item for bottled beers again. Duplicate. Coors Light. Miller. Miller. So you can see how quick that is to add items using the voice to text. I speak a lot faster than I type. I bet you do too. So let's take a look at the AI menu completion. I'm going to add a new group here. Let's call this hard. Add a new item. Using the AI menu completion tool, let's type in, there's Angry Orchard. Put in a price. We haven't done this one before. Same as before, you want to set up your bar printer and take off the kitchen printers. Now that I've got that in there, I can use that as my default item. Duplicate it here for the AI. I think there's another one called Truly. Everything else is copied, so we're good to there. You just now hit save. So the AI menu completion tool allowed you to then fill in the blanks for using the suggestions. Just continue to duplicate that over and over again, and you can fill out your menu pretty quick. So the next thing I'm gonna do is the matrix. You need to select or create your base item before you can start. Menu item name, let's call this. Report category is still beers, draft beers here. Now we've got our base item with our routing and the price. Those things are set up. We're going to call this the common name. And the default price, which I'm just going to set it at $5. Now your columns. So in this case, column 1 I'm going to have as my size. And the base adjustments to the default price. I'm going to set my $5 as the default price. So that is set as glass. What do I want to bump it? What do I want to bump it? I'm going to bump it by $5 for a picture. You can continue to add the different sizes that you would have for that item. And then column 2 is going to be the actual name of the item. Is there any bump for the price just because of the different beer? In this case, I'm going to say no. Okay, now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 beers, 2 sizes. Go ahead, and now this is what the preview looks like. These are the items that are going to be created when I hit build matrix items. This is your last chance then to give it an alternative name. If you don't like glass bud, you can type in an alternative name for that. You can also adjust the prices here as well. So this is what's going to be built by these items. If I want to add another size, I can go back and do that before I hit build matrix. Now I just built those items. And there they are. So now we have at the point of sale on the front of house, we now have our beers are pretty well built. You've got your draft beers, bottle beers, and some hard seltzers are all on the front of house, all been built. Under draft beer, now you have the size, glass, and pitcher. Under bottles, you now have some bottle beers that you can ring up and the hard seltzers. All of there ready to go. It's a real easy way to build your menu. And that's why we say you can build a menu in a short period of time if you have the right tools and know how to do it. Well, I do have one more thing to show you, but it's going to be something you probably, I'm 99% sure you've never seen, and that is how you can now delete your own database. You've seen how we have created it on the fly, and it's pretty easy, pretty smooth. But you now have a new feature that allows you to go in and delete the database so you can start over. If you've messed up and just don't want to use that database, here's the steps. You're going to log in, top left. You're going to touch that menu access button, and under help, bottom right, way down on the bottom right, delete store account. And here starts all the warnings. The red, permanently delete store and account data. And then it goes through and you read all this, and it's like, you're gonna delete your data. You sure you want to do this? Then you check the boxes. These are the things that you want to delete. Are you sure that you want to do this? And then it emails you a verification code. So you have to go to your email. And in your email, you're going to get a verification code. My code is 479644. And one last time, you have to hit the red button. Once you do, your data is gone. That's how you delete your own stores. No longer do you have to call in or email in or wait for whatever to do it. You can now build your own database. If you don't like it, delete it. You can start your own store database. If you don't like it, delete it. Yeah, Gary.
Jerry, I'm sorry. This is Gary. When you do that, are you able to use the same email or phone number on the newer account?
Sure are. I'm still on my account.
So then, all of the credentials that I created to make that first database, which might be an email address or a phone number, I could reuse it on the new database.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Good then. Thank you.
You're still in your same account. I'm in my account right now, and I can log back in and go through every bit of the same process I just did.
Okay, good then. All right. Appreciate that, Jerry.
Okay. Yeah, that's going to be a good feature for you guys to use when you're practicing or playing or building your own demo database. Try it out. If it doesn't work, delete it, start over again. Now, are there any questions? If there's nothing else, I'm going to say appreciate you coming. And next week, today I spent 30 minutes explaining how to do it. Next week, I'm going to do it just really quick so you can see how we can get through a database relatively fast. And when we're done, you've got a good core, a good set of bones, good things to build from. And then when we're absolutely done with it, you're going to have a database that's got good recipes, good detailed information, good items. It's going to flow well and be a great demo database for a bar, full-blown bar. So come back next week and you'll see the completion of this project.